live on Facebook and I'm not Instagram. I'm sorry. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube.
Awesome.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Walking Them Shoes YouTube channel. Welcome to another episode of Sister Circle Social Show. And some of you may see Club. Sorry, y'all. I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Leading Lady Dar, founder of this wonderful organization, Walking Them Shoes. I really get a kick out of saying that, and I'll tell y'all why a little later. But I get a kick out of saying that is a wonderful organization, and a lot of people think that it really is about walking in heels, and it's not. It's not. It's not about that. It really is about becoming on this journey, wherever you are on this journey. So that's why I get so excited about it. But I'm the founder of this organization, Walking Them Shoes, which is an empowerment firm to help uplift, help empower, help inspire women to blaze the trail to success. And I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. And I don't want to do it alone. And I know so many women out here who are on this journey of becoming, who have paved the way for many of us who have made it and who are still looking back and reaching back to bring that other woman up on this journey as well and encourage her as she's on this journey of becoming. So that's why I'm here. That's why I also created the Sister Circle Social Show Club. So therefore, other women, such as our lovely guest that we have here, ladies, I invited and she accepted. So happy she did. We have the lovely, phenomenal, most just your whole energy is a great vibe, but you're also such a lady that exudes such presence when it's like calmness and peace about you, Nia. It's just amazing. But we have the lovely Dr. Nia Imani Bailey here with us. So welcome to an episode here on the Sister Circle Social Club show. Let me say, we're trying to. I think we decided that it won't be the Sister Circle Social Club; it'll be the Sister Circle Social Show.
I like.
So, welcome, Dr. Bailey. We thank you so much for accepting an invitation on today and joining us here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me just take a look and see if I think we have a comment already. Let's see who it is. Pocahontas. Hello, that's Queena. Hello, Queena.
Oh, nice.
Another beautiful spirit young lady here that I'm connected with. And we have my sister Patricia Elliott on this morning. Good morning, ladies. I sure hope. Let me just say, Dr. Bailey, I posted it yesterday. I didn't post. I think I posted it Thursday after we spoke, but I didn't post yesterday. But I sent texts this morning, and I sent texts because it's personal.
Yes.
It's personal. This episode in which we're going to speak on today, hearing about your journey, hearing who you are and what you do, I think is going to impact so many others. And I do know that there's some people who are joining us from Facebook. So our Facebook group Black Women About Business is joining. What I'll have to do is link this to the Walking Them Shoes group on Facebook, so those ladies there can just be blessed with you. I have my sister Atia. Hello, Atia. Oh my goodness, Nia, did you have a chance to share this out? Did I send you? Did you share it out with anyone? Awesome, awesome. I know your mother is listening and joining us.
Yes.
I know we're going to give a shout out to our Narda Bailey here. We love you, Narda. Yes, we do have some friends and family that are joining us from both platforms, and not Instagram. I keep saying it. Facebook, as well as you here. So, ladies, let's just dive in. Like I said in the beginning of this video, that this is an episode that's really, really, really important.
Yes.
Not just me, but to all of us here. And I've texted and sent messages to a lot of the younger ones because, Nia, you're going to tell the audience why it's so important. But I know Dr. Bailey here, and I knew her when she wasn't a doctor. I knew her when she was younger, but still such a beautiful spirit, just radiance, just her glow, her presence, as I said in the beginning, is just that of a very sweet, God fearing, phenomenal woman. And ladies, you're in for a treat. So, Dr. Nia Bailey, I want to ask you, who is Dr. Nia Bailey? Tell us who you are, this story, your journey. Who are you?
Wow, I don't even know how to answer that. I am a God fearing woman who loves God, loves my family, loves the community, loves all people, although sometimes people get on my nerves. I just want to make sure that everyone lives a blessed, healthy life. And little selfishly, I want to make sure that when I get to heaven, God says, well done. So that's the little selfish part in me. But I think all deserve a quality, healthy, peaceful, beautiful life. So who I am. And I want to say shout out to you and my mom. Shout out Temple University, for connecting you two and at the time back in the day.
Yes.
And you've always been a beautiful woman, smiling. I'm sure it's hard. I know it's hard being a Black woman, but you always smiled. You always had this pure spirit. Always said hi, because sometimes I don't even feel like saying hi, but you always said hi. And I really appreciate it. And I love this journey that you're on, and what God's about to do for you is something great. So hold on. So I just say that. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. I have to learn to put on my big girl underwear because I know what I do, and I just thank you. I thank you for that. I know what I do, but I do it with such passion. But the passion that's in me is really, really is not a selfish passion. It's really a passion to help others. And I received a great text. No, not a text. I received a message
Uh-huh.
and communication with someone yesterday on last night, right before I went to bed. And
Uh-huh.
here I am finding myself getting ready to cry. But this individual, known them all my life, or not all my life, I'm sorry, in high school. And just over in the past few months that connected with this individual, they said that I impacted their life and they didn't think that they would be doing the things that they're doing or going as hard as they're going because they saw me, they read my book, they saw me and said, well, she's doing it, I can do it. And the words that I used to pour into them. So that really blessed me. And you saying that here on today, like sometimes I just want to cry, Nia, because as you said, you want to hear those words, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's what I want. That's what I want. And not just doing it for that, but just doing it because I know that we as women, it's hard for us and we fall into a funk, whether it's mentally, physically, things happen to us that dampen our spirits, that hurt us. And without the encouragement, without being able to lean on a sister, and everyone don't have a biological sister.
Correct.
Well, we are sisters in one, so that's why I do what I do. But enough about me. We have Shonda on. Hi, Shonda. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning. Sonia, Dr. Bailey. I'm sorry, Dr. Bailey.
Wait, can I say one more thing? But with you being obedient, that's why God's going to bless you. So, we're coming on. So Good Friday was yesterday, and Sunday is Resurrection Sunday, and I really believe that we have to carry our own crosses, so to speak. So we're doing that. But what happened? God was glorified. This is the basis of our religion. So you're carrying your crosses. Multiple, but no matter what, God's going to bless you because He knows your heart, He knows you're obedient, and it's going to work out. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, you try to make me cry on this morning. Listen, I said I'm going to put my big underwear on, and on the next episode, ladies, y'all gonna see I have underwear like all the way up to my neck. I'm gonna put them on.
But it's so true. The devil remember this and that, and well, don't do this. But no, like we're God's children. We got it and get it.
Yes, y'all hear that on here this morning, ladies? Y'all got it. We got it, and that is the reason why we're connecting. Um, So in your story, Dr. Bailey is a radiologist at Christiana Hospital, right?
Yeah.
Christiana in Delaware. And there's so many things that I just want to pull and hurry up and just get you to speak on. But I'm going to take my time. We're going to take our time, and we are featuring you as this phenomenal woman,
Thank
God's daughter, as the radiologist and doctor that you are. But you're touching lives behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, on platforms. Like, you're really touching our lives. And you have an event that's coming up that tugs at my heart because I'm gonna let you share it, but it tugs at my heart because I support the women in that community as well. And even though someone may have breast cancer, even though someone, I support those who have breast cancer, but for those who don't, I have to support them too. And in supporting them, it's educating them, because in educating them, we know what to look for, what to prepare for, and how we should proceed in life and
you.
being the advocate for ourselves. So, do you want to tell us about the event that you have coming up? Well, tell us what you do, Dr. Bailey. Let's start with that. Let's just tell
Okay.
us what, tell the ladies what you do.
Okay. So I'm a radiation therapist, and that just means I give radiation to the patients with their primary site, meaning, so if you come in for breast cancer, I'm treating your breast. If you come in for cancer, I'm treating that. Your treating that, just that primary site. And sometimes people get chemotherapy and radiation mixed up. The difference is radiation, we're treating usually that primary site, that problem. With chemo, if I have breast cancer, they're treating, yes, the breast, but they're also treating any other diseases that may be in your body. That's why when you see a woman who's has breast cancer, her hair falls out, her nails look different, they have neuropathy or kind of painful feet. That's why chemo is systemic, radiation is very localized, and we're just treating that site. So that's what I'm doing.
So,
Normally, oh,
say
go ahead.
that last part again. I'm sorry to cut you off, but say that last part again. I just feel like it's like going in and out a little bit. So, you said radiation is treating the primary site, and chemo is what?
Yep. And chemotherapy is systemic. So it's going throughout your entire body. hmm So I'm normally with them. I mean, some patients can get one treatment, some patients can be with me for 7 weeks. So we really create a bond, or not, but typically a bond. And you really, it becomes a job for them. And I can really say like 99.9% of those patients are so friendly. And the ones that are not, don't have to be, because they're in pain. So it's okay. But they really pour into me because I'm saying I'm tired. I got to be at work at 6 a.m. And they're like, good morning. And I'm like, you the morning and you have cancer? Okay. So Nia, shut up. So they really pour into me, and especially the ones who are just so spiritually filled, are praying for me. And, I'm joking about my boyfriend, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, I pray that this and that. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I would be like that if I was in your shoes. So really a blessing to be able to connect with people who are going through a very hard time in their journey, but they're very optimistic that this is the last time that they're going to see me, meaning they're never getting radiation again. They're going to close this chapter in their life and they're going on. And I always say when they're done their treatment, I said, I don't want to see you here, no disrespect, but I'm sure you in the grocery store, the club, something like that, but never here. And they understand because they say, I don't want to see you too. So it works
Right.
beautiful. But the event that I'm having, it's at Theater Inn in Wilmington, Delaware, and it's called A Letter to My Sisters, a breast cancer documentary for young women. And it features three beautiful women. And these three women I all treated. So we became, it was first clinical, it was patient, technologist, and then we became friends. So the one woman, her name is Janique Rivera, and she's Jamaican, Asian, Puerto Rican, and she was diagnosed in her 20s. And she has such a powerful story of advocacy, because you say you have a problem in your 20s and they say you're too young. Well, that's not the case. And it really perplexes me when clinicians or practitioners say you're too young, because there's pediatric cancer, right? So there's patients who are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old who get cancer. So if I'm in my 20s, I'm actually not too young to get cancer, right? But anyway, I digress. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in her 20s, and she tells her story of really pushing for the doctors to see her and to, get that diagnosis and going through her journey. The next woman, her name is Brenda Durantes, and she's Mexican. Her story is in Spanish, but there's English subtitle. And she was diagnosed in her 30s, so she really tells the story of being Mexican. And Mexican women don't have time to get cancer. We're taking care of our families and we're cooking, we're doing this. But her story is so powerful. And the last woman, her name is Lynn Mitchell. She was diagnosed in her 40s, and she's Caucasian, and she beautiful story of just fight and tenacity. So we really wanted to show women it doesn't matter what you look like, your language, how much you make, that we all sadly can get breast cancer, but there's the other side of it. And we also talk about prevention because, that sounds bad. Oh my gosh, I can be 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, and receive breast cancer. But we also say, hey, there's ways we can decrease your risk. And there's certain ways, such as, so you are in the childbearing age, researchers really push you breastfeeding for at least a year if you can, and there's no pressures. Sometimes you can't. I think my mom said, listen, I tried, okay, but there's no she said I was too hungry. But between me and my brother, but as much as you can, they normally say for at least a year, try to breastfeed. They don't say if your child's 13, breastfeed, but there's a cutoff. But that it's important to reduce your sugary and alcohol intake. So I love pink lemonade, but that's not healthy for me, just in so many ways, not only cancer, but diabetes, things like that. But what they say is sugar, all of that sugar and alcohol and juice increases your risk of getting cancer. So they say, in what's the word? In balance, so I can't have it Monday through Sunday. Maybe I should just have it. Same thing with alcohol. It increases your risk.
Mm-hmm.
Also, exercising. So it's important and I think when people think of exercise, they think they got to lift 1,000 weights. No, you can walk. That helps. You can pedal. You can just move your body. You can dance. That helps decreases your risk. Eating nutritious food, that helps too. So making sure that your plate just looks colorful, that really is important because Narda will tell you, my mom will tell you, I love cheesesteaks. And she always said, she said, how do business more than kale meal prep and you eating cheesesteaks, ma'am? I don't know. Okay. But it's important to eat healthy, eat kale, eat, fruit and things like that. And of course, every now and then, yes, get your cheesesteak if you want, but balanced meals is very important. Do not smoke. And we're in a generation where it's okay to vape, it's okay to hookah. That's actually not okay. And listen, I'm talking to myself too because I just turned 30 and I've hookah before and my the doctors I work with, they're like, you don't know where you were. And I'm like, listen, I'm sorry. I was, having fun. But it's true. Doing hookah, vaping, smoking, weed, anything like that also increases your risk. So those things aren't healthy too. And the last is achieving a healthy body weight. So that looks different for some people. There's not a standard of you need to be, I don't know, 5'7" and 120. That's not it. Whatever your healthy is, achieve that as much as you can because that also lowers your risk too. So all of that information is kind of compounded into the documentary. And at the end, when we've had several screenings, it was beautiful because the woman said, hey, maybe I should get a mammogram, or maybe I should know my family cancer history, or maybe I should talk to a genetic counselor. Those are so important because especially, in our community, and I would even speak for my family. My mom would say, my aunt passed away. And I would say, how did she pass away? And she would say, I don't know. And I'm like, well, how don't you know? Like, this is important. So I know too much about my family, okay? Because my mom said, anything I can find out, I'm going to tell you. I know too much about her. So, but with that...
Wait, I gotta cut you off just a minute. First of all, shout out to everyone who just joined us. We have Angela Dozier on. Good morning, who is a fitness fanatic, I want to say, but she is a fitness coach. And It says everything in moderation. Yes, tea, yes, everything in moderation. And Angela says drink a bottle of water
Yeah.
first, then your meal. The water weight will come out, weight will shed.
Yes.
Well, I would say you touched on so much with this. And ladies, I'm telling y'all, this is, as I said, this is an extremely important video to me because I've watched a close friend suffer and go through so many surgeries behind breast cancer. And as you know, many of you know, I do a walk every year. And when we talked the other night, I had like a brain fart. I couldn't remember the name of my walk that I do, and it's laps and laces. And
Nice.
this is my second year doing it, but we do a walk around the track a couple of times, however many times people want,
Uh-huh.
in honor of those who may have passed on and those who are still fighting breast cancer, as well as those who are dealing with domestic violence, right? So, in doing that, Nia, you just shared something very important.
Hmm.
Know your family history. You
So
said you know too much. Listen, that is very true. I could tell you, yeah, my daughters know a lot about their mom, but do you know about your grandmother, your great grandmother? And they don't think to ask these questions. And another reason why this is so important is because Dr. Bailey had a chance to had an encounter to treat
mhm.
a young woman in her 20s. So who would think? Because I've attended so many of the breast cancer walks and had an opportunity to meet some of the women there who are fighting, still fighting, were diagnosed with breast cancer. And I think the very first time I did, it was probably about 5 years ago. And when I went, I'm thinking I'm going to see, yes, you see younger ones there, but I'm thinking they're supporting their loved ones, right? But no, they are fighters,
Mhm.
you and survivors. And it's like in your 20s.
Right.
So we do have to look at what we eat. We do look at, I went for a walk. I go for a walk every day. And this morning I woke up with such anxiety, y'all. And y'all want to know, many of you know that I suffered with anxiety years ago and was on medication for it. But I stopped taking that medication years ago. I was delivered from that anxiety. But guess what? I woke up this morning with anxiety, right? And not anxiety like I can't control it, but it was just excitement. It was that kind of anxiety, not like the fear of anything, but just the excitement of
Right.
this video with you this morning because I know the importance of it. I was really excited. So when I went for my walk this morning, I said, girl, run. I
That's
started running. I started running because I needed to get that burst of energy out of me, you know.
awesome.
Good morning, Charisma. Yes, Charisma, 9 kids. Yes, Charisma. Good morning, sister. This woman does a phenomenal thing with women, with young girls. She is in the community here in the North Philadelphia area. So shout out to all these women that are on this platform this morning. I am thanking God for y'all showing up because this message is going to bless you. So
Yeah.
Dr. Bailey is just really sharing with us the ways that we can combat or ways the things, the mindset that we need to have as women.
Mhm.
That's it, mindset and changing your eating habits. And as a young woman as herself, I don't hookah. I don't know. And I always say, well, I'm telling people not to do that. Maybe I should do it, try it, and see what it's like. But no, I don't do hookah.
It's
I
just
don't.
like a vibe, but it's not healthy. Because what they're even finding out is so binge drinking, and that's, you're just drinking a lot of alcohol in a short amount of time. They're finding out that that increases your risk of alcohol or of cancer too. But I feel like everybody sort of brings binge drinks, and I mean that in normally from Monday through Thursday you're not drinking because you're working hustle bustle, but from Friday to Sunday you're drinking. Well, that's classified as binge drinking, and that increases our risk. That's crazy because who would have that? So we really want to just educate. And it doesn't mean you got to eat air and drink H2O every time and just live just whatever. I'm not saying that, but balance. That's all. That's so
Balance, balance, and moderation, ladies.
yeah.
If you have any questions, ladies, drop them in the chat, and I'm sure that Dr. Bailey will be glad to, expound on them, answer your questions. This here is a Sister Circle Social. It's a show where we can connect as women and be able to teach and share and love on one another because it's empowering and it's needed. So, Dr. Bailey, I do have a question for you.
Sure.
In your life,
Hmm.
and Okay, so let me just say, as a young adult, and you knew you were going to school, did you know that you were going to go to school to become a doctor, a radiologist, a radiation therapist? Did you have that in mind initially?
I always wanted to work in the medical field. So growing up, I always watched the Cosby Show. So I actually wanted to be an obstetrician like Cliff. I volunteered at the OBGYN and I said, I'm not doing this. This is too much. What in the no. And then everybody called me Sister Soldier. So I'm always like repping for the cause. My mom said I probably would have been a Black Panther back in the day. So she so she said, why don't you be a civil rights lawyer? My mom and dad. And I volunteered there and I said, this is too much. I'm not doing that. So it wasn't until my father was diagnosed with prostate cancer and I volunteered in the radiation therapy department, radiation oncology. I said, oh, I can do this. This is what I want to do. So that's what kind of put me on my trajectory of where I'm at today. But they always called me Dr. Bailey. That was my nickname from like birth. So maybe they thought I was going to be an MD and not PhD, but I just kept pushing and they just kept saying, keep doing it. My mom passed me the torch, my father, my brother. And I just realized that when it was hard for me, I realized I really stand like on my ancestors' shoulders, like my great grandmother, Mary, she ironed the robe of the grand wizard's robe of the clan. So from going from that, I saw her pass me the torch. Go ahead, baby. So it was like, okay, I can do this. When I want to do that, I remember that. So, I just pushed and just got it. But ask me if I'm going to school again. Heck no, I'm over it.
What's funny is that I often like I do want to obtain my master's, and I think of the many things that I'm doing, and it's like in doing the things that I do, I still am in school. Like I'm still teaching myself. I'm still learning. And sometimes I say, well, I write books. I'm actually I thought after I finished this last book that I wrote, I said I was done writing.
Uh-huh.
I'm 66 pages into another book now. And
Maybe.
I didn't want to, but I do know that I said, I want to obtain this master's. I have my associate's degree, so I need to get the bachelor's and I want to obtain the master's. But school is something, and I don't feel like it, but it is a desire. It is a desire, though.
And just about it, see what God wants you to do. Because I would say many a times, like, I'm not doing this. And he was probably like, this my child, Father, do it. So just pray about it. What God, just reveals in you.
Yeah. Because I thought for sure I was done writing books, but here I am again. So, good morning, Victoria. Good morning, Hurling. Thank you so much for joining us. Ladies, if you have a question, we're talking about breast cancer survivors. Dr. Bailey has a documentary coming up June the 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, June the 10th. I thought I put, yes, June the 10th. It's in Delaware. So those of you who are local in this tri-state area, please visit her website, DrImaniBailey.com, to be able to purchase your ticket. Listen, ladies, I'm sure it's going to be a phenomenal. I watched Dr. Bailey on, I think it was Channel 6. Matter of fact, if you go to her website, you'll be able to see the clippings of her interviews on, and you'll be able to see the lovely young lady that was in her 20s. I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
Unique, yes.
You'll see her interview and how she was diagnosed. And I mean, what shocked me was that in such a young age, she had what is it called? Triple negative breast cancer. And you would think, no, not this young lady. But then when she went back, she was diagnosed, was it in her lung or in her brain?
Lung and then brain.
Ladies, excuse me, ladies, that's tough.
Yeah.
And she has young children. And a lot of times, sometimes we have to be exposed or we have to see or hear stories such as this that shock us to put us in that mindset of, let me go see about that ache that I had. Let me go see about, why I've been feeling this sluggish. Why, what is going on with me? A lot
Absolutely.
of us have that white coat syndrome. We don't want to, be in a doctor's office, but it really is imperative because as you can see, ladies, it's not just the older women that are getting breast cancer. It's not just the middle-aged women, it's the younger ones. So, we doing all the things to make us look good on the outside. But what about what's going on in the inside? And I mean inside, not just the brain, because y'all know I focus a lot on that mental health,
Yeah.
but also the breasts and, even our cervical, we need to make sure that we're maintaining our health so we can continue to do the things that we do and loving and sharing and teaching and helping others. So, Dr. Bailey, I think I had like another question or two for you here. And you did kind of answer this because you said, let me see what you said. My question was, as a radiologist, seeing the many women, younger and older, different nationalities, being diagnosed with breast cancer, was there a moment you said to yourself, "I'm gonna stop doing whatever"? And you did. You answered it. You said you stopped doing the hookah, and you said something else. I forgot just that quick.
Hookah, well, drinking a lot like I'm a fish. Because I'm young, whatever, turn up. But yeah, I mean, there's certain things where I'm just like, it's not worth it. Because even secondhand, so if I have a friend who smokes, that's fine. I just can't be around it because there's no filter. So I'm really more at risk than you are. So I can't be around you while you're doing that. I'm not saying I can't be friends with that person, but I can't hang around you while you're actively smoking. That's unhealthy for me, you know? And it's so to advocate for yourself. You mentioned Janique's story. She advocated for herself. She said, "You gonna find out what's wrong with me." And it took several months, but if she never advocated for herself, she would never be here with her now 3 children and fiance. And it's so funny because I talk about this, but I had to advocate for myself. I had to go to my primary doctor and say, "Hey, my dad had cancer. My uncles all have cancer. This, that, and the third." They put literally that information in a risk calculator and determine if you're high risk. That determined that I was high risk. So from that, at 29, I'm 30 now, at 29, I got a mammogram, 3D mammogram. And what it told me was breast. Well, dense breast means that the radiographer can't see what's on the film. So I said, "Well, thank you for telling me I have dense breasts. I need a breast MRI." And they said, "Whoa." They said, "Well, you're 29. You don't need that." And I said, "Yes, I do." And I explained to them, "You can't see what's on my picture, what's on that. So I need that." I
Oh,
pushed.
hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off. I am so sorry because, ladies, this is the teachable moment right here. Yes, Sister Elliott said cancer has no age, but
Mhm.
this is a teachable moment because, yes, myself, and I think a lot of uh, African Americans, and I may be wrong, but I think a lot of African Americans are diagnosed. And I don't know if it's because, these tatas is little that they're dense, but I was diagnosed with um, dense breasts.
Yeah, a lot.
And
Yep, you're right.
I'm gonna tell you this. So I'm gonna tell you this. This is a little ignorant moment that I had. And growing up, my grandmother, Grandma Eloise, love
Oh,
her dearly, but my grandmother was partially paralyzed. Her whole left side was paralyzed, right? So, but she did everything. She was, and that's another thing, strokes run in the family, so knowing your history is important, right? So, grandma had this stroke. She's like in her 20s,
uh-huh.
but grandma was a go getter, okay? Grandma did her thing and she didn't want no help. She still managed. She
Mhm.
walked with a limp and she carried this arm like literally she had to carry it. But we're all small frame, but grandma was small. And grandma breasts, first of all, grandma would sit like this sometimes instead of sitting erect. She would sit like this, and grandma breasts would kind of slouch down into her lap.
Got
Always had to walk in there, and grandmama's boobs is exposed, right? And I'd be like, I would look and I'd be like, saggy breasts, and just jokingly, like, and not realizing, girl, daughter grew up and now she got saggy breasts, right? So I got these saggy breasts, right? But nonetheless,
huh.
I go to the doctor, and when they said you have dense breasts,
Right.
so it's another thing with like this white matter. I can't even think of it. Calcifications, right? So I had dense breasts. At first, they were saying that it was white matter, and then it was like, oh no, it's just dense.
Mhm.
So my thing is, I walked away thinking, oh, dense. Yeah, I know that. Duh, my breast is saggy, but that's not what that means,
Man.
right? That's not what that means, ladies. Atia said exactly. Her sister gets an MRI because of dense breasts. Most of us have dense breasts. Yes, T. Yes, we do. But ladies, I was told after having dense breasts that I needed to get a breast ultrasound. But I think too, the breast ultrasound was more for thinking that that little thing that they saw was like calcification.
Right.
So, ladies, teachable moment here. If they tell you that you have dense breasts, sis, go and request an MRI.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go
No.
ahead.
And sometimes like it depends. So we're all individualized. So if they say from your mammogram you have dense breasts, if they recommend an ultrasound, I wouldn't say no. Let's see what the ultrasound says. But if the ultrasound says also dense breasts, then go to the MRI. We're all different. I know a lot of patients who, based off of the ultrasound, they found out they had cancer, which is to be unheard of because it's usually the mammogram is more clear. So it depends on the image, the modality, but push for it. At the end of the day, if they tell you have dense breasts, they need to do something else to tell you something different. So I got a breast MRI and they said all clear. Cool. That's all I want. But because of my family cancer history, now I will get a annual mammogram, 3D mammogram, and then they will alternate 3D mammogram. Let's see what that says. I might need a breast MRI. And that's yearly. And guess what? My insurance covers it. But if I never would have brought that information to my doctor, then by the guidelines, I would have to wait till I was 40 years old. And what's
Hmm.
so nobody wants to be diagnosed with breast cancer, but if you find it out early, you have an amazing prognosis. So, God forbid I get diagnosed at 31. That's not what I want to hear, but at least I know I can get treatments early on. I have more options to myself, and I can go ahead and live my life as opposed to not knowing my body, not knowing what my breasts look like, not knowing what they feel like, not advocating for myself, not telling the doctor what they need to know about me, and then waiting, and then I have less options, and then I have a poor prognosis. So advocating for yourself and knowing what they're saying is very important. And like you said, that syndrome, if a doctor says a word like, I don't know, prognosis or whatever, you say, oh, what does that mean? That's okay. Listen, we all eat the same, we all go to the bathroom the same, we all the same. Like you say, Dr. Bailey, I think in the email you, when we first reconnected, I think you said doctor. I said no, call me Nia. I don't do titles. I am Nia. My mom didn't name me doctor, she named me Nia, So we're all we're all the same. If you don't understand anything somebody's saying, ask them so that they can further explain it to you, because that only benefits yourself.
Well, we have a question here. Sister Patricia Elliott says, one of my sisters just got tested stage 4 lung cancer. What would you say she needs to do and where to go for help?
That's a good
Praise,
question. Um,
praise God.
yeah. So I would ask the question to act. So my answer slash is going to be a question and an answer. Based off of that diagnosis, they set her up with a medical oncologist. So that would be the chemo doctor. Set them up with a medical oncologist. Are they talking about surgery? So talk with the surgeon. And I honestly think if she lives in the Philadelphia area, I would totally suggest Penn because that's a phenomenal hospital. I don't think there's a bad hospital, but I would totally suggest Penn University or Temple. They're good too. But I would ask those questions. So based off that diagnosis, they need to have a game plan. Typically, what they do is start with chemotherapy first. So that is the medical oncologist. So make sure that they have that appointment sometime this week. And then based off of that doctor's appointment, they may consult with the surgeon. And the reason why they usually start with chemo first is to shrink that tumor wherever it is. Now, stage 4 typically it's outside of the lung. So I don't know if they want to start with where the cancer is outside of the lung or if they want to start with the cancer that is in the lung. But either way, I would start with the medical oncologist and they can give them you and your sister a slew of information, and you can decide if you want to start chemo ASAP or talk to the surgeon and see if there's any surgery that's needed.
Mm. Mm. You, wow, Sister Elliott, that's tough because my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and Yeah, and unfortunately, she passed because at the time when she found out, one of the things I want to suggest, Sister Elliot, is that in her diagnosis, a lot of times their mindset is just thwarted. Like I work in neuropsychology now, and listen, I read a lot of their reports, and in reading their reports, of some of them when they're diagnosed with cancer, it's like they black out. So I think what's important is that she have you. So you may have to be that advocate for her because it might be her mind might be all over the place. She might not even be getting that diagnosis. She might not even be thinking of the right questions to ask. So I'm glad they think it has spread. She said they think it spread it. Yeah. So she might not, be thinking of what to ask, what to do next. So I'm glad that you were able to listen in on this and ask the questions for her because you're advocating for her now. And prayerfully, it hasn't spread. Prayerfully, they can one contain it and they can shrink it and treat it, and she'll go on and live a more simple life. It's really tough. It's tough.
Then also too, I would talking to the medical oncologist. I agree with you. So she needs to go. Miss Eloise needs to go, and then talk to an oncologist because there's clinical trials. There could be, chemotherapy and something called immunotherapy where they use your own healthy cells to fight the cancer. So there's so many things and that can be done. And I know usually Black people don't like clinical trials because we think of being a guinea pig and the Tuskegee experiment, but with the clinical trials, they're telling you what's going to happen. You're not going to receive like a sugar pill or anything like that. So you'll read that information and you would have that information to decide if you want to be in it. But it's so important to do that because it can really save your life. So medical oncologist, talk about chemotherapy to get all the bad cancer out of her body, talk about if there's clinical trials, immunotherapy, things like that. Really, help her have a better prognosis and feel better.
Yes, yes, yes. Wow, ladies, that's really helpful.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Sister Patricia Elliott, but I do know a lot of patients, even working in Temple. We worked in mammography, Tia and I, we worked in the mammography department, seeing, women come through and some by themselves, some with family members. So hopefully and prayerfully, you're able to be with her
Hey,
and be that voice for her just in case she's unable to do so. And hopefully that this video can help share or shed some light on the things that you can look out for and ask. Yeah, she said thank you. She appreciated it. Yes, yes, yes.
just
Just
email me too if she.
Sister Elliott, she said that you can email her as well. I'll forward you her information. Just to shift gears, just a tad bit. Yeah, what do you do as a woman, as a young lady, busy, busy, busy? What do you do to keep you motivated? Like, what I know, I kind of want to say, I know who inspires you. I know God, your mother, and your grandmother, but what do you do to help keep you motivated? Because working in a field like that and you're exposed and you're seeing this, it can be daunting. Like, it
Yes.
can be weigh a
Yeah.
lot on you.
That's a good question. It's actually my patient turned friend that keeps me motivated. So she passed away of triple negative breast cancer when she was 33. And before she passed, she told me not to forget about her. So she keeps me motivated 100%. So when I don't feel like sending an email or doing this or just like, going to work, I'm tired, she keeps me motivated because um, she should be here. So we're really close. I actually have her name tattooed on me right here. So that keeps me motivated. But then also, being around the village. So I have great friends who are doing phenomenal things in their fields. That keeps me motivated. When I see them, okay, girl, so let me keep moving. You're doing that motivates me. Having that village is so important because when you just chilling, I'm not doing nothing else, and then I hear about, look what Miss Mark Darnice is doing, look what Brianne is doing, look what this, and I'm like, okay, I can do it too. Let's get it, So that motivates me as well.
Awesome. Oh, ladies, just drop a note in the drop a comment in the chat as to what motivates you. We have Angela Doja here saying videos of like-minded people for me.
Yes.
And just say that is her gift from God. Well, thank you, thank you. I don't know if you're speaking to me or Dr. Bailey, but yes, Um, Things that keep me motivated is just like you said, watching inspirational videos. I ain't gonna lie, my grandbabies do. God holds the key to all of the things that really excite me, but the little ones, listen, it's a whole greater world with grandbabies.
I
But I do I inspire, but I also listen to inspirational videos as well. And having conversations with women like you and being connected with so many other women, that it inspires me too. Because times when she said both of us, yes, thank you, sis, thank you. And it's times like this, like I look over this, like this video here, this interview here, great candid conversation for me because it doesn't just get broadcast. It doesn't just get uploaded to a platform. I go back over it, I watch it, and I learn from it, not learning what to do, but I listen. Like I really hear you. I really listen, and it's important for me because I never know who I'm going to encounter throughout the day. I never know who's going to ring my phone. I never know. But it gives me that power. It gives me that leverage to be able to help inspire other women. So my last question for you, sis.
uh-huh.
Um, what does self-care look like for Dr. Bailey, Dr. Nia Imani Bailey? And you said that they called you Dr. Bailey since you were born. Your name is like a famous name. It's like it sounds so important. Nia Imani Bailey. No, I didn't know what she was doing. No, I didn't know what she was doing.
That is funny. My self-care comes in the form of watching movies every day after work. I turn on the Golden Girls. Don't judge me. That's my self-care.
That's my show.
That is my self-care. Listening to music, dance. I love doing a little twerk. Just just kind of, I never used to like being by myself in my company, but the older that I get, I love it. And that's my self-care. Music, movies, playing basketball, going to basketball games, that's my self-care.
Well, Nia, you are such a lovely woman. Such a lovely young lady. And I know God has so many great things for you. You work and inspire and help patients and women and men.
Thank
And after you leave work, you can say, whew, that's it for me. But yet you are a creator, you are a writer, you're a director. I can't wait to see A Letter to My Sisters. I can't wait to see it. I already know that it has already blessed so many women and people all around the world. But I see God doing so many great things for you. You also have a book called Love Thy Neighbor. And you also have a nonprofit organization. Like this woman is phenomenal, y'all. She really is phenomenal. And I'm not just saying that. She feeds the homeless. She has a nonprofit organization. Like I commend you, boo. I don't know. I know where you get your strength from. I know where you get your go from. I know your mother. I know the strength that she possessed. And, as you said, your grandmother, your mother, they handed it down to you and you are wearing it. You are doing your thing. So I'm very honored to be able to have you here and
you.
feature you on the Sister Circle social show. So we're trying to really just reach millions and allow this platform, this circle here, to help empower women all around the world. So let me see what the ladies are saying here. You have some praises. You have some. Oh, my cousin Deb. Hello, niece. You never knew what type of cancer your mom had. Oh, she didn't know. My mom passed of. So my cousin is here. My big cousin is here, and she's in agreement with you. It is so important to know family history. And yes, my cousin Deb, in honor of her mother, my Aunt Hattie, who is such a fabulous, classy lady, she died
Oh,
of cancer. And so it is important. Yes, it really is important to know our history. And so when them little grands or them little kids or cousins are asking you, my granddaughter is good for counting the moles on my neck. Like, she's so good. She's so good at asking a million and one questions. My daughter don't have as much patience. She'll be like, stop asking me all these questions. But I answer the questions for
mhm.
those that I know. And like for my daughters, I'm going to encourage them to, really, really ask questions, not even just from me, but from the other side of the father side of the family. Oh, is that my sissy?
Oh.
Terry, shout out to you. Yeah, Shonda said, what keeps motivated is everything that is positive. People, educational, tutorials, learning new things, webinars. Yes, yes. Self-care Yes, y'all. Listen, ladies, I'm telling y'all, this is a Sister Circle social show that
Yeah.
I am so happy to be a part of because I don't care if Dr. Bailey was 20, she's teaching something on here today. And I always say that my heart is just overfilled with joy. My heart is racing. And it's because you really are teaching us something here on today. We had a sister here that really shared her sister's story about being diagnosed with lung cancer. And I know that all of us, I sure hope and pray, and my sister here, Terry,
Mm-hmm.
hope you don't mind me sharing her story. She's a breast cancer survivor.
Wow.
And she's just 50. I don't want to give her age, but she's active,
Yeah.
vibrant, and it can happen to any of us. It can happen to, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, those closest to us. So we must educate ourselves, ladies. And I know a lady who actually had a mastectomy and she was married and she shared her story on Instagram about how it did something to her and it took away from her marriage and her husband left her. Isn't that something? I mean, I
I,
feel bad sharing that part of her story, but at the same time, with all that she was going through, not just having a diagnosis of breast cancer, but losing her breast, and now you want to walk away. But this
see,
is why we form Sister Circle.
Miss Darnice, I'm not that saved because I would have thrown hot grits at him, but that's another story. I keep telling people I'm from the south side of the kingdom, but
You is your mother's child. You are your mother's. Oh my goodness. Where is Nada at? Oh my goodness. Nada, get your daughter.
I'm too.
Yes. Yes, ladies. She said this is what we need as women to be empowered. And prayers from a distance to all. We need them in these days and times. Yes, Sister Shonda. Yes, yes, yes. So would you love to leave the ladies with a comment? Y'all got my nose running, my eyes tearing up. And I always sit here without tissue. And my babies is around right now to go get me some. But um,
Uh, um, I would always say advocate for yourself. Know that you are important, your words are important. And on a spiritual level, we are always carrying our cross. But I want you to know that as long as you're being obedient to God, He's going to bless you. He's going to bless you, surpass your wildest dreams. So keep on the course, keep your village, hone on your village, and you got this. There's enough for all of us. So let's get it.
wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Belly. But hold on, we have Sister Terry here says, yes, as I said, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She just said she had the breast that she had surgery on. They found lumps. Now I'm going through tests all over again. And
Mm.
since I don't know if you heard Dr. Bailey mention that you should be getting an MRI, is it automatic that they get an MRI once they have breast cancer? I
Not
mean, like,
not necessarily, but I would push for that, and I would make sure that everything is happening like ASAP, and it's probably a whirlwind for her. Make sure, like you said, make sure she has somebody going with her to have that second set of ears. And so, do they think cancer, or they're not sure and they're just going through the tests?
Terry, do they think that is cancer again? Because she was treated for this breast. She said they found lumps. Now I'm going through tests all over again. So
They're not
they're
sure.
not sure. Yeah.
This
Since we lift up in prayer, yes, Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, God, we are going to cover you in prayer. She
is
said I had one. That's how they found the lump. Oh, she had the MRI. That's
okay.
how they found the lump, and they're not sure yet.
So they're going to do the biopsy to determine.
Are they going to do a biopsy? No weapon, Lord. No weapon. Come on here. Oh, God. Well, there's always something to pray for.
Absolutely, we're going to pray for.
Yes, she said, yes, they're going to do a biopsy.
Okay,
Uh,
good. So
yeah,
that, and like you said, Miss Bernice, we're going to pray over that and pray that it's nothing. So keep
yes.
that absolutely, and then we'll go from there. And then likewise, Mr. Anish, you can share my cell phone number, email, or whatever, just so that we can all stay connected and make sure they're doing what they need to do.
Yes. Now, listen, ladies, since I have you here, and I'm not going to keep y'all long, but I do appreciate each and every one of you for joining this live. I just need to say a quick prayer. I am moved to do this, and it's not going to be long. But even if I just say, Father God, in the mighty name of Jesus, cover us all, that is good enough. But just saying, we are speaking healing right now. We are calling forth healing for all of us, but especially Sister Terry, especially for Sister Pat's sister with lung cancer. We are calling forth healing in the mighty name of Jesus. No weapon formed against us and them shall prosper. And we, by his stripes, we're healed. And we're going to continue to pray that prayer for them in the mighty name of Jesus, asking for healing. We want testimonies to be able to come through this channel as well, y'all. So, ladies, stay encouraged. If you know someone that is going through the battle, if you know someone that is a survivor, even if they are survivors, you still walk with them, still talk with them, still pray with them. Like, it's needed.
Absolutely.
So again, Dr. Anita, oh God, I'm going to call you Ania. Dr. Nia
Thank you.
Imani Bailey, we really thank you here. We really appreciate you sharing. We appreciate you teaching. We appreciate your time. And yes, ladies, I hope to see y'all in Delaware.
Yeah.
I really hope to see y'all in Delaware. To a letter to my sisters. That's not my event. I have nothing to do with this event. But yes, I am promoting it because, again, it is going to share, it's a documentary. It's going to share the stories of 3 women, ages 20, someone in their 20s, someone in their 30s, and someone in their 40s who've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And if you go to Dr. Nia Imani Bailey's website, I'll actually put a link in this YouTube video in the comments. If you go to her website, check out the interviews where Dr. Bailey is sharing, and she also has the young lady there sharing her story as well. And it really is heart touching, and it will make you, if you're not a person that like to go to the doctor, it will make you want to go to the doctor. So stay encouraged on today. And Dr. Bailey, if it's anything that I can do, did we lose her? But I'll continue to say that if it's anything that I can do to help you on this journey here, and as you inspiring and encouraging women, I'm more than glad to do so. Ladies, thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us here on this live. This was really powerful to me, and I pray that it was powerful for you as well. Thank you so much, y'all ladies. And I'm not saying share this video just because it will bring likes. I'm saying share this video because it will help change the life of someone. Someone could be sitting home this very moment and feeling a sensation in their breast or being very tired. You never know. They could be feeling something, but not sure what that something is. And maybe sharing this video will help change their mindset about how they feel about going to the doctor and go see about themselves. So, ladies, I am your host, Leading Lady Dar. I couldn't do it without y'all. So I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Bailey. We appreciate you for allowing us to feature you here on this platform. Continue to do amazing things, because I already know you got them blessed hands over there. You're writing, you're creating. And listen, y'all, for those of you who have younger ones, even grandchildren, she has a book out called Love Thy Neighbor, and I'm sure it would be a blessing. And again, her organization, do you take donations for your oh, and Sister Pat, oh my goodness, I have to tell you how you bless someone with these clothes. Oh God. Okay, so yes, so Dr. Nia Bailey has her nonprofit organization. What's your nonprofit again?
It's called Agape, Finding Your Purpose, Incorporating Your Faith.
Ladies, Agape. Listen. And that was inspired by your grandmother. That's where you got that from?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome, amazing. Shout out to her lovely mother, Nada Bailey, who raised you up and reared you up in the most precious and God-fearing way. As such a lovely young lady you are. Thank you so much. Ladies, thank you all. I pray that y'all all enjoy your day. And if there's anything that I can do, please reach out to me, Dr. Nia Bailey. Thank you so much. Please visit her website, y'all. And don't forget to get your ticket for a letter to my sisters. Thank you.
Peace.